Welcome to Kawartha Speedway for the final CASCAR Super Series race of the 2006 season, and more significantly, the final Super Series race ever. We've got a champion to crown in the Dodge Charger 250.
The 11th and final race of the CASCAR season as J.R. Fitzpatrick leading the points over his teammate and defending five-time national champion Don Thompson Jr. Also in the mix is two-time winner Kerry Mix in the 02 Ford. The talented 18-year-old sensation has powered his way across the country looking to become the series' youngest champion. Today's race also marks the final CASCAR Super Series race in the sanctioning body's glorious and storied 25-year history. You're watching round number 11 of the 2006 CASCAR Super Series from Kawartha Speedway as we bring you the Dodge Charger 250 presented by Mopar. Hello and welcome to Kawartha Speedway. I'm Dave Bradley. Along with me is Billy Rouse Jr. and Todd Lewis is trackside. Billy, the biggest news of this weekend, probably for stock car racing in Canada, is the announcement that NASCAR has acquired CASCAR with a new series being called the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series.
Oh, it's huge, Dave. You know, CASCAR has always been a great series, but NASCAR has acquired it, and along with NASCAR comes that big title. Now corporate Canada will get involved. You know, it has more recognition. These teams have always done a great job, but you need corporate Canada to give them the resources and the funds to keep racing coast to coast and putting on the great show that we see week in and week out.
And it will be a great show. It'll be included in the NASCAR Grand National Division. And you know what? There's a buzz in the pits. The teams are pumped.
Oh, it's neat. You know, everybody I talk to is just excited about the thing. You know, thanks to Richard Buck and NASCAR Canada for pulling this deal together, but most of all, Tony Navanti for all of his years of sweat to get the series to where it is, because I'll tell you, he's done it best. Canada, CASCAR, the best series going.
Absolutely, one of the most successful promoters in all of Canadian stock car racing history, Tony Navanti, but one guy who's been successful on the track this year is the 84 of young J.R. Fitzpatrick. He took the points lead in race number 3 and never looked back.
Well, hey, the kid's a sensation. He's drove with his head all year long. He only needs to finish 15th or better to take home the 2006 title, but he's had some great help. You know, what can be better than racing for your dad and then looking across the shop and seeing five-time champion Don Thompson Jr. there to help you with getting your race car ready, maybe a little advice here and there. And you can tell by some of the races, the kid didn't cut him any slack, and he certainly didn't cut him any slack back either.
And let's not forget about his crew chief, too, Ted McAllister, who's mentored young Fitzpatrick all season long as well. You know what's probably most amazing is that 6 teams at the CASCAR Super Series towards the end of the season, all within 100 points of each other. That's really a tribute to how well these cars are prepared week in and week out. Todd Lewis is down trackside with our points leader, J.R. Fitzpatrick.
JR, great qualifying effort. Now you've really put Kerry Mix behind the 8 ball. Is it a stressful day today?
You know what, it's definitely a very stressful day, but right off the trailer, the car's been real good, and we haven't made any adjustments so far, and I'm real proud of the Milwaukee Electric Tools team. We've just been taking her easy, trying not to make it any more stressful than it has to be.
All right, J.R. Fitzpatrick and the rest of the CASCAR competitors, of course, had their first opportunity to score points through time trials, and the Castrol quick time of the day went to DJ Kennington in the Castrol Dodge, just over 18 seconds, and DJ put it on the pole here at the Dodge Charger 250. What a great way to come at the end of this season and maybe make up for some bad luck. You had a big win here last year.
Yeah, we sure did, Todd. Like I say, we've had an up-and-down season all year, but my guys worked hard. Castrol stuck with me. Mopar, Dodge, I mean, everybody that helps us out. This is the final hurrah, so they say, for CASCAR. So hopefully we can end it on a positive note to get a good start for next season and get this Castrol Dodge in the winner's circle. Like I say, I got a great motor under the hood thanks to Dad, and that's a big key here at this place, too.
Yeah, certainly is. DJ Kennington will be looking for his second straight victory here at Kawartha. And, guys, of course, we've got another manufacturer's title to decide as well.
Well, that's right, Todd. It will be decided here at Kawartha, and Mopar has come on strong the last few races.
Well, hey, they've swept the podium the last 2 races. You know, the Dodge drivers really got it together. But let's face the facts. Mopar is here week in and week out supporting these racers. So if they can sweep this deal and get the title, good for them because they're here.
It'll be 2 years in a row for Mopar for winning the Manufacturers' Cup if they can do it. Accolades also have to go to track owners Skip Ambrose and Derek Lynch, who put on a great show year after year here at Kawartha and a beautifully prepared facility.
Oh, this is a gem of a racetrack. Skip Ambrose, he had a vision, and you know what? He knows how to get it done. It's a beautiful facility.
Todd's down with Derek Lynch, the Director of Racing Operations here at Kawartha Speedway.
Well, guys, you're right. Derek Lynch not only is the boss here at Kawartha Speedway, we see him behind the wheel in the CASCAR Super Series on a regular basis. Derek's got to be pretty special, though, for the Kawartha Speedway to host what will be the final Super Series event. Yeah, it really is, Todd. I mean, when that announcement rolled out here Tuesday this week that NASCAR had taken over, it was a pretty big, positive move for Canadian motorsports for sure. But the one thing that we definitely wanted to keep track of was the 25 years of time that Tony Novotny had put into this series, and a lot of race teams that have supported him for that amount of time. So I want to give him a good send-off. It's the last one ever, and it should be a great show here today. All right, we're going to let Derek get strapped in and get ready for today's 250-lap race, the Dodge Charger 250, when we come back.
The Dodge Charger 250 from Kawartha Speedway is brought to you by Castrol. It's more than just oil, it's liquid engineering. Opar, authentic performance. Ridley Heads Board Games, to play is not enough. And by Milwaukee Electric Tools, nothing but heavy duty. The national anthem just being sung here at Kawartha Speedway, always advancing as an entertainment facility. Owner Skip Ambrose has recently opened up the only permanent and purpose-built soapbox derby track in Canada. The Berms Arrest Gravity Cavity is 750 feet long with a 30% slope. The opening ceremonies were held earlier today with NASCAR's Richard Buck and CASCAR's Richard Coughlin cutting the ribbon. The track is capable of producing speeds of 45 miles an hour, believe it or not. Will be the site of a number of major events in 2007.
Well, here's a pair of suspect characters. Mixie looks a little bit like Hothead Henry's there in the game board. And look at this, he's still pedaling trying to catch the kid.
Oh, he's almost off the track there. Kerry Mix and J.R. Fitzpatrick having a lot of fun. Speaking of exciting, let's set it down trackside as John Stewart from the Dodd Dealers of Ontario ready to get these CASCAR late models fired up.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Well, guys, we know about the good days of the front row starters. DJ Kennington has the Castrol Dodge on pole. J.R. Fitzpatrick just a whisker away from a championship on the outside of row one. But how about J.R.'s teammates? The five-time defending Super Series champion. He had problems during qualifying. The team in less than 2 hours changed motors. He is rolling. He'll start, but he'll start tail end. It should be fun to watch him charge through the field.
Well, that's right, Todd. The Home Hardware guys thrashed on that car to get that new power plant in there in time. They literally just fired that car up moments ago.
The 88 of Dave Jacobs also had to change the motor here this afternoon. There's a good look at Don Thompson Jr. We'll be riding on board with him today. And a good look at Peter Gibbons, who has run well here in the past. He'll start fifth here today. Brad Graham will run off in the 9th spot. Good look at him and his office, and we'll ride on board with Stony Creek's Ron Van Ness as well here today at Kawartha. Take a look at the full Leland starting grid. On pole, of course, DJ Kennington. Outside of him, he's looking to become the youngest champion ever in CASCAR history. J.R. Fitzpatrick will start outside of row one. Mark Dilley and Scott Steckley make up row number 2 here today. And there is Peter Gibbons in the 1. Dave Whitlock will start alongside him in row number 3. Ron Beauchamp Jr. and home track boy Derek Lynch will make up row number 4 here today. Brad Graham and the 02 of Kerry Mix has to do a lot to win a championship. He comes in trailing the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. Doug Brown and rookie Jason Hathaway in row number 6. Hathaway might have that Rookie of the Year championship locked up. Lapsevich and Ron Van Ness in row number 7. Row number 8 brings another rookie, Joey McComb in the 50, and Jeff Lapsevich in the 23. Bob Merrifield and Kenny Forth in the 43 and 86 make up row number 9 here today. Looking back to row 10 is Joe Gonzalez and Brian Cathcart in the 71. Kent Noon and Chad McGlynn make up row number 11. McGlynn looking for a strong run as well as Noon here today. Al Liebert and Dave Jacobs, who changed a motor in row number 12. And the final starter here today, he had to thrash all afternoon to get that motor swapped. The number 4 of Don Thompson Jr. He'll have his work cut out for him.
That's right, Dave. We'll take a look at the Logos Auto Parts race analysis. We've got 25 cars here today. This is a very fast 3/8 mile racetrack. It's going to be 250 laps. It's a very clear 23 degrees today at Kawartha.
Absolutely beautiful day for a race here at Kawartha and Toddstown trackside with a couple storylines we're following today.
Guys, of course, another championship will be decided today, and that, of course, is the CASCAR Super Series Rookie of the Year. Team 3 Red driver Jason Hathaway about to take that title. It'll be the last Super Series Rookie of the Year, of course, with the change in ownership for next year, but this is a team that has improved greatly as the season has gone on. Certainly struggled at the beginning of the year, now among the top runners quite often here in the Super Series.
And the 3-car, one of the more aggressive cars, the last stop we made at St. Eustache. We'll see what he can do here at Kawartha Speedway. The Dodge Charger Daytona RT pace car pulls off and wheels down pit lane. It's DJ Kennington and J.R. Fitzpatrick, that man on the front row. Cheryl Ambrose with green flag in hand, and there it goes. We're underway here at Kawartha.
Down into turn 1, J.R. Fitzpatrick doesn't get a good start. DJ barrels into turn 1 to take the lead.
Boy, Fitzpatrick had to fall back into a battle with the 9 of Mark Dilley, but here he comes hard on the high side. 2 nice grooves here at Kawartha. Makes for some pretty good racing.
Oh, this is a great facility. We've said it before. 2 real distinct lines here at Kawartha. The outside does work and will work all day long.
DJ Kennington making that Castrol Dodge pretty wide at the front of the field as the points leader. J.R. Fitzpatrick tucks into second. There is a battle for 5th spot. It's Peter Gibbons, the 39 of Dave Whitlock, and Ron Beauchamp Jr., the winner at St. Eustache, right in that battle too.
Well, you see Whitlock out in the outside being able to keep the momentum going, and he just thunders down the straightaway. It's not very often you see a car out horsepower Peter Gibbons.
Dave Whitlock, a 2-time winner, both on ovals here in the CASCAR Super Series this season. One coming at Mosport, the other coming at Cayuga. He's strong here today early on.
Now we listen to that horsepower through the middle of the corner. You see Gibbons' car just got a little push in the middle of the corner. You can hear him pick the throttle up late, and Whitlock drove away by a car length.
7th spot between Ron Beauchamp Jr. Derek Lynch starting to slide back just a touch in the Canadian Shield Dodge Charger. Up on the outside, can't quite get the bite he's looking for. He's got Beauchamp to the inside, just kind of minding his own business. But when there's a car in front, you really can't get the run you want off the corner.
Well, you kind of got to wait on him or run over him. In CASCAR, nobody runs over anybody on purpose, just good, clean racing.
Good look at Scott Steckley in the Herb Group Dodge Charger. J.R. Fitzpatrick ducks a nose on the 17 of DJ Kennington, but they stay 1-2 just like that. Still that battle for 7th spot on the racetrack between the 60 of Beauchamp, the 77 of Lynch.
Derek Lynch knows this place really well. He is the promoter here, but today he stepped down, and his lovely wife, Kate, is running the show. Now, anybody that doesn't know it, Kate is the daughter of Tom Curley of ACT fame.
Oh, that's pretty interesting stuff. Peter Gibbons still leading that pack is Derek Lynch side by side with Beauchamp. They touch a little coming out of 4 as Beauchamp slides up the racetrack trying to get as much bite as he can out of that Mopar Dodge.
Well, we keep talking about that outside lane is really good here at Kawartha as Mixie steps out to the outside to try and get the spot from Beauchamp as well.
The Apex Racewear 0-2 of Kerry Mix looking to make as many spots up as he can. He has to finish a lot of cars in front of the 84 in order to get any chance at a championship here today. He really does have to have a perfect day.
Well, almost 3 wide down the backstretch as 3 Mopars going at it hot and heavy.
The 9 of Mark Dilley, the 22 of Scott Steckley, and the 39 of Dave Whitlock all in the pack with 241 laps to go here at Kawartha. This is for 3rd place.
Well, it's 3rd, 4th, and 5th, all covered by Mopars here today at Kawartha. We've said before, this place is a horsepower racetrack, and them Dodges are certainly strong.
Absolutely. The Dodge Charger of DJ Kennington continues to lead the field. The Chevy, though, of J.R. Fitzpatrick running second, and a big gaggle of cars all stacked up behind the 9 of Mark Dilley now. As soon as they started to race, this pack just caught up in a hurry.
Well, you know, they get side by side, and everybody keeps going at it. That's Dougie Brown on the bottom. He's trying to get 10th spot away from the 19 of Brad Graham.
Looks like he'll get it, but here comes Steckley on the outside for 3rd spot around the 9 of Mark Dilley.
You see that? Got the spotters on the radio telling him he's going to follow him through. Whitlock, he's going to go to the high side as well. Stablemates, you know, the outside's carrying momentum, and that big Dodge horsepower down the straightaway, there goes around the outside.
The 36 of Al Liebert, a lap down, tucking to the inside, but he's going to get in the way of this fight. And the 9 of Mark Dilley will slot in behind teammate and team owner Dave Whitlock. There's Liebert now bunching up cars in behind, as well as Mix, Gibbons, Beauchamp, and the 10 of Doug Brown.
It's just racing all over this fast 3/8 mile racetrack. We don't have enough cameras to show all the action.
The top 2 checking out on the rest of the field, though. It's DJ Kennington, your leader, with J.R. Fitzpatrick, the points leader, holding second. We're 13 laps in. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Dodge Charger 250 presented by Mopar here at Kawartha. The Castrol Dodge of Kennington leads with young champion in waiting in second. Now Scott Steckley in the 22 Herb Group Dodge Charger is under pressure from Whitlock in the NTN 39 Dodge for third.
Well, it was only a few laps ago that we had all the Mopars race for that top spot third there. Dilley seems to have backed off the pace a little bit, just saving his tires. He's sitting back there in 5th spot.
250 laps, though. It is a long race. You can't afford to take a little break here early on.
Well, you know, as long as you don't go a lap down, you can save that right rear tire a little bit and just give the thing a rest and not wear it out early on. But you got to, about 100 laps, you got to get her done and get out front, get that thing hauling the mail.
And you got to think Giulio Montanari, the crew chief of the 9 of Mark Dilley, telling him, you know what, be patient. We still have over 200 or just under 230 laps to go here at Kawartha. It's a good track to save your stuff and bring it on for the end as the 02 of Kerry Mix ducks underneath the 9 for 7th spot. And there's Al Liebert in the 36 going yet another lap down. The 17 of Kennington continues to lead, though.
Well, take a look back in the field, and what I've noticed is the 10 car of Dougie Brown. He's coming to the front.
Absolutely. Very, very strong race car is the Napa Auto Pro Chevy of Doug Brown. But you know, an interesting fact, the 17 absolutely ran away from this field last year. Kennington very, very strong here at Kawartha. Who knows, maybe he'll do it again. He looks very strong early on today.
Well, he said early on that his dad built him a really good stove, as he calls it, underneath the hood. As, you know, that's a family operation sponsored by CASCAR, but his dad does the engine work all himself.
There's McGlynn and Cathcart racing side by side in front of the leader, and here's a good race side by side.
Still in there. Split side.
Well, you hear the spotters trying to help their drivers out. That's a battle for 7th spot, and there's that number 10 car, Dougie Brown, I was talking about earlier.
Scott Lethbridge on the radio, the number 9 of Mark Dilley with the 02 of Kerry Mix. Able to get side by side and sideways coming out of corner number 4.
Down into turn 1, still side by side. Mixie gets into the side of him. Here comes Brown, 3 wide off of 2.
Dilley's going to get the spot with the 10 of Doug Brown coming underneath the 02 of Kerry Mix. And we talked about how strong he was.
Well, that's Susan Mix on the radio telling Kerry he's clear all around, because you know what? Beauchamp was trying to get in through that door that the 10 of Doug Brown opened up as well.
Once that hole opens up, it doesn't take long for a driver to fill it. We've seen it a number of times already here at Kawartha. Car gets shuffled up to the outside, and whoop, there's a car down low.
Speaking about shuffling, here comes that 4 car shuffling the deck. He's on the way to the front.
Man, the Home Hardware Chevy for a backup motor awfully strong here in the 4 car. As he moves up, he's lurking outside the top 10. Beauchamp Jr. underneath the 02 of Kerry Mix. So what looked like a strong car early on is now he's sliding back. He's back into 9th spot, and Beauchamp slides well up the racetrack.
You're going. Attaboy, you're going.
What a great job of car control there. He got shuffled out into the gray stuff, into the marbles. The thing gets all loose sideways, manhandles it back down into the groove, and only lost 2 or 3 positions.
Battle for 10th spot now as the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. moves up inside the top 10, tailing the Challenger Motor Freight Locals Dodge of 19 of Brad Graham.
Well, it just tells you how deep that Fitzpatrick Motorsports team really is. They go to a backup motor, and that car is coming to the front.
Here's the 9 and 10. These guys have been side by side for a number of laps. As Al Liebert in there as well. A lap car in the 36. It was for 6th spot between the 9 and 10. Doug Brown, he's coming on the inside.
Well, he's doing a great job. Dilley's going to keep him pinched down there behind that lap car. As the leaders, they're working through lap traffic as well.
When you're up on the outside, is that something you try and do, is just take away that run on the inside, keep him as low as you can?
Well, you know, there's 2 things going when you got the guy down there on the bottom. he's really putting heat into his tires because he's got to turn a tighter radius, and the guy on the outside can carry more momentum when you talk about engine RPM.
Well, you saw the lap car of Liebert checked up the fields, and the 10 of Doug Brown got past the 9 of Mark Dilley, the 02 of Kerry Mix in front of the 1 of Peter Gibbons. Guy has been the man on the move here today, the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. He's won a couple times here at Kawartha, and Tom's got more on him.
Well, guys, it's been fun to watch. Don Thompson forced to start at the back because of that engine change, charging through the field. Well, not really charging, but really picking his way through, but quite efficiently. Now closing in on the top 10. Again, he'd like to be up there racing with the leaders for the end of this one. He may not be the series champion for a 6th consecutive season. His teammate, J.R. Fitzpatrick, looks likely to get that, but a victory would sound awfully sweet today.
You know what, though, Todd? A bad year for Don Thompson Jr. is a good year for anybody else in this field. I can name a handful of guys who would wish to have a bad year like he's having.
Well, you know, a bad year and still finish in the top 5 in points, yeah, sign me up.
There is the guy who's well on his way to his first championship and becoming the youngest ever champion in CASCAR Super Series history as we look out the front windshield of Ron Van Ness out of Stony Creek, Ontario. Van Ness going a lap down to your leader, DJ Kennington, and second place driver, J.R. Fitzpatrick.
Well, Steckley there in that Mopar number 22 Herb group, they've done a great job. They switched over from Pontiacs over to the Mopar, and that car's been strong all year long.
Yeah, he got his first win in Barrie in the first race of the season. He's looked comfortable all season long, and you're right, he's been there week in and week out.
We ride on board that thing, you listen to that Mopar muscle down the straightaway, just makes you want to jump down there and get in one.
That's John Logol, the spotter and car owner, the 19 of Brad Graham, telling him who's behind him. And you remember back to Cayuga, those two had a little bit of a clash towards the end of the race. Don Thompson Jr. coming out on the short end of the stick. We'll see how that plays out here today. Still running the Dodge Charger 250 here at Kawartha Speedway. We got 41 laps in the books. DJ Kennington has dominated the Dodge Charger 250 presented by Mopar, but now the 84 of Fitzpatrick has surrendered second place to the 22 of Steckley here on lap 51.
Well, you know, the kid's just looking at the big picture all day long here. He just needs to be, I think we calculated as 15th and to sew up his first championship.
Under 200 laps here to go. There is the 43 of Bob Merrifield, a really great looking race car. He's got it painted up. Looks just like the Dodge Charger Daytona RT pace car in that top banana yellow trim.
Well, Bob Merrifield drives a lot of different race cars, shows up periodically on the Super Series, always brings a nice looking piece.
And Mike Herniak, old name from CASCAR, helping out the 43 team as well. Nice to see everybody who's been involved in CASCAR kind of staying involved.
Well, they're both out of the Windsor area, both love racing. You know what? And as sponsorship arrives, they come to the racetrack.
As the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick starts to slide back into the clutches of the 39 of Dave Whitlock, and some chat from spotters.
Well, that's Dennis Thompson, which is actually Donnie's brother, who spots for J.R. Fitzpatrick.
He races in the Ontario Pro Challenge Series, a miniature version of these CASCAR Super Series cars, and he does quite well in that series.
Well, he's also responsible for a lot of the vinyl deckling on these CASCAR race cars. He just got some great advice there when you're fighting for a championship. Let him go, let him go, let him go around the outside. Hey, great advice today, JR, and he's doing an awesome job looking for that first championship.
Well, you saw the point from Fitzpatrick as well. How much do these drivers try to communicate with each other through hand signals?
Oh, for sure. It's a lot easier. Like, we got radio communication to the crew, but you have no communication other than hand signals to your fellow drivers.
The 17 of DJ Kennington going around the outside of Dave Jacobs, who had to change a motor earlier on today in the loose barbecue Ford Taurus. So Jacobs just looking to put in laps here today. The 11 of Ron Van Ness, yet another heartbreaking day. He's in the pits. Tots with him.
Guys, here's a team that really needs a break this year. Ron Van Ness in the number 11 along pit road. A green flag stop, right front tire problem, the reason for this pit stop during the green.
Well, that's for sure. This poor team, they've struggled, they've broke parts, broken pieces, and it's not for lack of effort. His father will buy him anything he needs to succeed in this series.
You know what? That team, I think, is one in the pits that's just looking for the end of this season and a start to a new one next year. Start with a new fresh slate, a clean slate, and we'll get things going.
Well, that's for sure. They're all looking for a fresh start next year under the NASCAR banner, but here comes Lapswich with that 25 car. He's starting to flex his muscle.
The 60 and the 19 of Brad Graham. That's all a battle for 11th spot. And there is your leader, the Castrol Dodge of DJ Kennington. He's absolutely hammering the field. Look at the gap back to second. There it is. Scott Steckley holding down second spot, and he's just trying to keep up.
Well, very reminiscent of last year. DJ put a clinic on at this racetrack, and he's got that Castrol Dodge hooked up again today.
Nearly half a straightaway between the leader and second place car, but hats off to Scott Steckley. He spoke about how comfortable he is in this McCall chassis, the 22. A brand new car for him, brand new motor program, and Scott Steckley has really put it to good use here this season in the CASCAR Super Series.
Well, that's for sure. McCall put a really good car out underneath him, but he's also got a new crew chief this year who has really stabilized that race team.
39 of Dave Whitlock in the Gridley Heads NTN Bauer Dodge Charger holding down third spot, and there is your points leader, the Milwaukee Tools Chevy of J.R. Fitzpatrick running in fourth, quietly working his way to another top 5 finish here today. That's all he has to do, just keep it rubber side down and just finish the race.
Well, rubber side down is very important, but he just needs to keep all the fenders on it and keep looking at the big picture.
Still that battle for 11th spot. Ron Beauchamp Jr. in the Mopar Dodge. He got a win at Cena Stash. Last stop here in the CASCAR Super Series, and he's digging on the 19 of Brad Graham.
Well, you see those cars come off the corner side by side and very equal down the straightaway for a reason. Ron Beauchamp Sr. supplies the motors to both cars. Oh, and there's smoke out of Ronnie Beauchamp Jr.'s car.
Smoke and a trail of fluid from the Mopar Dodge of Ron Beauchamp Jr. And it's quit. The motor is broke on the Mopar Dodge. Ron Beauchamp Jr.'s afternoon is over, and this calls for the first caution of the day.
Well, I think I jinxed Ron Beauchamp Sr. there. He is very dejected. I've raced with these guys a long time, and I'll bet you it's been 10 or 12 years since I've seen one of their motors expire.
A little bit of a cleanup needed on the raceway. So Wheelan Engineering Safety Crew heads out on track, and a couple drivers taking this chance to make some pit stops. The 9 of Mark Dilley is in pit lane. So is the 02 of Kerry Mix, and Todd's waiting for him.
The 02 of Kerry Mix along pit road for a pit stop. They will make some handling adjustments and change the 2 right side tires on that Taurus to try and give Mixie a little bit better handle heading in. They've got him full of fuel as well.
And it looks like the Canadian Shield Dodge Charger of Derek Lynch stops down pit lane. He'll get 2 tires as well. So we're under caution for the first time this afternoon at Kawartha Speedway with 78 laps in the books. We'll be back. Welcome back to the last race of this season and final CASCAR race ever in the 25-year history of the series. We're at Kawartha Speedway for the Dodge Charger 250. DJ Kennington leads here on lap 83.
Well, DJ gets a really good start, gets down through the oil dry nice and straight and clean down the backstretch, but Steckley's not letting him get too far away.
16 cars still on the lead lap, and we're just coming off a really long green flag run comparatively to different tracks. Is this something we can expect all day long here at this racetrack?
Well, this is a good, smooth, clean racetrack with 2 very usable grooves, so not a lot of action as far as wrecking concerned on this great 3/8 mile oval.
But boy, you really need to get that car working on the high side. Look at how much time Dave Whitlock lost after battling with the 93 of Joe Gonzalez.
Oh, the bottom's always the fastest way around the racetrack, but the top, you know, if you can get that second groove broken and get the car hooked up, it's the fast way around in traffic. Take a look right there. Don Thompson Jr. is proof in the pudding as he brought that car all the way from the back after that motor change, and now he's fighting in that top 5.
You saw a flash of Brian Cathcart as well in the Mid-America Chevrolet Monte Carlo, the 71. He's done fairly well this season. He's missed a couple races, but you know what? Hats off to him. And he's finishing off the season on a fairly decent note here at Kawartha.
Well, Brian's been pretty busy. He bought himself a new Junior A hockey club, and I think they're called the Liftlock Stars.
Yeah, just down the road here in Peterborough. Good luck to them in their upcoming season. One driver has had tough luck here today is Ron Beauchamp Jr. and Todd's down with the dejected Mopar driver.
Ron Beauchamp Jr., you have experienced the highs and the lows of racing in consecutive weeks. Great victory last week, but out early in this one.
Yeah, it's too bad because Mopar car was a little bit free, but I was waiting for a pit stop to work on it. The guys would have made it better for me, but something let go in the engine and lost oil pressure and ended my day for the Mopar Charger.
Well, you always want to finish the season on a high note. Tough way to end this year for Ron Beauchamp Jr.
Well, for sure. When you start hitting mid-season, you really got to pick up your performance days so you can start hunting for sponsorship for the next year. So you always want to finish strong. And poor Beauchamp, last year, he was on a roll as well, and he broke a rear end and fell out of this race a year ago as well.
Well, two drivers looking to have a strong finish here today. DJ Kennington and Scott Steckley. They're the class of the field in this race so far, and Steckley is digging on the 17 of Kennington.
Well, look at this. Further back, we got three Chevrolets going at it, but there, J.R. Fitzpatrick on the bottom, keeping that car clean and mean, looking at the big picture.
You see how cautious he was going into the corner? You got to think the spotter's telling him, cars all around you, just let him go, let him go.
Absolutely, very smart young man for 18 years of age.
Well, the 4 car of Don Thompson Jr., we spoke about it earlier this afternoon, having to change a motor, and he's worked his way up just inside the top 5 now. There's a good look at the 0-2 of Kerry Mix after making a 2-tire stop. He's working his way back up through this field.
Well, you watched Kerry get down into the corner, and he got into the 23, or 25 there, lap switch brother just a little bit. And we got a good fight up front.
Inside. Still there.
Side by side for the lead down the front chute. And now Steckley drops in behind the 17 to Kennington, but Kennington moving up the line just a bit. He's opening up that inside, daring Steckley to take it.
Well, there we talked about this earlier. The momentum you can carry off the corner, you turn more RPM, and you can carry a little more straightaway speed off the top side.
The current Ironman with 138 consecutive starts here in the CASCAR Super Series is DJ Kennington. Now, what's the deal for next year with NASCAR coming in? Do we keep all these stats that we've accumulated?
Oh, we got a car turned around in turn 1 there, right in front of the leaders. That's 93, Joe Gonzalez.
Well, the bolt-on performance Monte Carlo of Gonzalez stopped in corner number 1 as the field ducks down to the inside to get around, and Gonzalez will find reverse and get going in the right direction. But your leader is in pit lane. The Castrol Dodge is in for a pit stop.
Leader DJ Kennington making his scheduled stop. It'll be 2 right side tires and fuel to get him the rest of the distance. Scott Steckley, the number 22, also making his scheduled stop. It'll be a handling adjustment to the right rear. 1 round, 2 rounds of wedge out, and 2 right side tires. Brad Graham's going to beat both of them off pit road.
Oh, there we go. That's Dave Whitlock's going to be first out in that 39 Dodge Charger.
Everybody down pit lane. There's the 84 of Fitzpatrick, the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. getting some much-needed skins on the right side of that home hardware Chevy. But we do have a new leader. Jeff Lapsevich in the 23 leads here at Kawartha with 100 laps down. A big crowd on hand here at Kawartha to watch the final race of the 2006 CASCAR season. Jeff Lapsevich in the 23 Monte Carlo leads the field as they work lap 103 on this restart.
Well, as they hustle down into turn 1 there, we got 146 laps left to go. Now it's time to turn on the muscle if you've got it.
The Carhartt Tim Orton's MC Transport 23 of Lapsevich taking his first laps at the front of the field with the 0-2 of Kerry Mix. Made a pit stop earlier. He stayed out this last round, and he slots into second.
If I take a look at them all, or even Derek Lynch there in the 77, he's already made his 1 stop and change right side tires. He should be good to go.
Yeah, Lynch is running pretty much anything, and we got a battle for the lead. The 0-2 of Mix jumps to the outside, looking to go a long way around the 23, and he'll lead this lap of the stripe.
Whoa, little touch job going into turn 1. But again, we've seen that momentum off at turn 4 on the high side. And there again down the backstretch, Mixie's able to pull him by half a car length.
Lapsevich tucks in behind the 0-2, and these two have a history. They've run 1-2 a lot of the races, a couple road courses this season, and of course they got together up in Cayuga earlier this year.
Well, you know, think about this. Jeff Lapsevich came to us as one of the premier road racers in North America, literally. And look what a great job he does on the ovals as well. This kid can drive a race car.
Absolutely picked up some much-needed sponsorship. The Carhartt brand this year on the 23 car, and he's putting that money to good use, running second here in the Dodge Charger 250 presented by Mopar. And there he is, the Dodge Charger number 9, Mark Dilley holding down third, but he's under pressure from the 77 of Lynch.
Down into turn 3, there's that number 4 Home Hardware Chevrolet of Don Thompson Jr. He's got his pit stop underneath his belt. He's marching to the front.
Oh boy, can he ever turn that car. Pinches it to the inside coming off a corner number 4 as he gets underneath both Hathaway and the 25 of Jim Lapsevich.
Well, there's the school of thought right there. 2 corners, 2 cars.
So Don Thompson working his way back up towards the top 10. The 0-2 of Kerry Mix doing all he has to do. Now he has to lead the most laps in order to get anywhere near the championship. We spoke about it at the top of the show. He really has to have a perfect day to win the championship and steal it from that man, the 84, J.R. Fitzpatrick. And Mix is doing that now, leading.
Well, look at this fight back there. This is a fight for 7th position. You got the 19 of Graham, the 1 of Peter Gibbons, and that number 4 car we keep mentioning coming from the front. They're all digging for the front.
And the 19 of Graham, one guy we haven't really spoke about a lot today, but he's doing well, staying in the top 10.
All clear behind those guys. All clear all around.
Well, that's John Logos telling him it's clear all behind those guys. But more importantly, did you see that 4 car turn the hook off of turn 4? He went in on the outside, turned it to the bottom, and got both cars down the front straightaway.
And we got issues on the 25 of Jim Lapsevich. He pulls it right to the infield. The MC Transport Monte Carlo looks like his day may be done.
Well, it looked like it could be a trailing arm bracket or maybe even a trailing arm itself. The rear end was out of position there on the 25 car. We got a battle here. That's Jeff Lapsevich on the outside. Dilley in the 9 car trying to steal that 2nd position.
And Dilley working his way back up towards the front. He made his pit stop earlier on. Now he's in 2nd, chasing your leader, the 0-2 of Kerry Mix. And work has started in the infield on the 25 car, and Ton's down with Jim Lapsevich.
Yeah, guys, you can see the MC of Transport with Chevrolet has got black spray along the back. They have broken the bracket for the trailing arm as Jimmy Lapsevich climbs out now. And Jimmy, this is a frustrating way to have you behind the wall. Your car seemed to be pretty good today.
Yeah, it was pretty good, but there's a lot of cars running the same speed out there. Track position was going to be key in this one. And, you know, we just hate to end the year like this for the MC of Tim Horton's team. This car's been stronger than the results have shown this year, and you know, we were real good here last 2 years. I'd hope to get it up on the podium today. I think it's been a few years since I haven't had a podium, and it's a big disappointment for this Fast Line team. But we'll come back next year for this Canadian Tire NASCAR Series, and we'll come back stronger than ever and try to win this deal.
Well, we look forward to seeing him next year for sure, but the 9 of Mark Dilley is taking over the lead. He's your brand new leader here at Kawartha Speedway, jockeying underneath the 0-2 of Kerry Mix. So with a new face at the front, the number 9 of Mark Dilley leads the field with 125 laps in the books. Mark Dilley, the leader of the Dodge Charger 250, is working his way through traffic here at Kawartha with Kerry Mix hot on his heel and now slides up underneath to take the lead.
Well, Dilley was trying to pass the lap car. Kent Noon got up into the marbles and lost himself a couple spots.
93 of Gonzalez was in there too. They're starting to battle side by side. Dilley took evasive action, but the new leader, the 0-2 of Kerry Mix. And there's your new 2nd place man, the Carhartt Monte Carlo. Jeff Lapsevich resumes his position at 2nd.
Well, you got the 39 of Whitlock. He's working around the outside of that lap traffic as well. And here comes the 22 of Scott Steckley once more. They've made their pit stop, and Greg Gibson's got that thing dialed right in today for Scott.
121 laps to go here at Kawartha Speedway, and the field is starting to bunch up near the front. As soon as the leaders start to race back and forth, again, that gap closed right up.
Well, anytime you get 2 leaders running side by side, the lap times go off by 3 or 4 tenths of a second, and that allows everybody else to catch up.
Great speed shot as we watch the cars go by our speed camera. Now, Billy, we talked a little bit about stats and how they'll convert over to the NASCAR series. Do we carry them over?
Well, that'll be NASCAR's decision for sure, but anytime that you go into a different era, they call it the modern era or whatever, they usually roll all the stats back to zero, but it sure would be nice if DJ Kennington could keep his Ironman status heading for NASCAR.
Absolutely. 138 starts is definitely something to hang his hat on as we go on board with the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. working on the 39 of Dave Whitlock.
What a great shot. Don Thompson's steering style. See, he brings that hand over to meet the other one, nice and smooth into the corner, not fighting the race car, just giving the old horse's head, as they say.
Another record that should stand is 7 championships overall for the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. He'll fall short this year, but look for him to come back even stronger next year. Here's a battle for second between the 9 of Mark Dilley and the 23 of Jeff Lapsevich.
Still outside. Still out there. Still hanging in.
Well, that's Dilley's spotter telling him that, where that car is on the outside and when he's clear.
Scott Lethbridge telling the Barrie native to buckle down and set his sights on the 0-2. Let's go get Mixie, he says, with the 11 of Ron Van Ness in between them. The 11 cars in 22nd spot after that flat right front tire early on under green. That really hurt him.
Well, for sure. Parity in CASCAR racing, though. We got a Ford, a Chevrolet, and a Dodge up front.
And that Dodge is catching the Ford of Kerry Mix. Mark Dilley is on the move, but here comes Lapsevich as Dilley struggles with the lap traffic once again. He has a tough time on the outside getting around those lap cars.
Well, Dilley's car just really hooked up on the bottom. Doesn't like that outside groove at all. But you know what? He'd really like to win this race because look at the name on the side of that race car. This race is brought to you by Mopar.
Absolutely is. Van Ness doing a good job at keeping that car low, out of the way of the leaders. Todd's down in the pits with another story we've been following.
Longtime CASCAR campaigner Bob Merrifield along pit road. They thought it might be a plug wire, but it's something with the throttle linkage that's causing problems for the number 43 machine.
Well, tough luck for Merrifield. He only runs a short schedule, and he certainly wants to run good when he's here, but a mechanical failure is going to take him out today.
Man who dominated early on, the Castrol Dodge of DJ Kennington for 9th spot underneath the 77 of Derek Lynch.
Well, that Castrol Dodge was really strong early on. You can see how he gives the bottom up away through the middle of the corner, drives hard off the corner, and keeps that momentum down the straightaway.
He's been taking that middle line all race long. He's opening up the bottom, but he's not quite taking the high side. And the 17 seems to be quick in that middle area. He seems to have found a sweet spot.
Well, it's all on what your race car likes as the run goes on, and DJ's really good at searching the racetrack to find that fast groove.
105 laps to go here at Kawartha as the 9 of Mark Dilley starts to work on the 0-2 of Kerry Mix. All his sponsors in attendance, including the folks from Leland as well here today. So they're all looking for a good run from the 19.
Well, he'd be all pumped up to win here because I think if you look back in history, the last time we had a Dodge Charger Mopar 250 race, I think Dilley won that one as well.
Yeah, that was at his home track, and Todd's down in his pit with his crew chief.
Julio, Mark had a good qualifying position, and he's running up front. How's the car?
Car is very comfortable. It's better on longer runs. That's what we need right now. Competition's pretty stiff right now, so we're in good shape, but we're going to the end. We're not pitting anymore.
All right, we'll see if they can stay green till the end, guys. That's what Mark Dilley and the Dodge Charger would like.
The battle for the lead is heating up here at Kawartha as Dilley and Mix are side by side.
Keep digging, still inside.
It's a four-way battle with Dilley and Mix leading it through.
Don't give him too much room. Hold him down.
Yeah, that's pretty good advice for any driver. Don't give Kerry Mix too much room because you give him an inch, he'll take it all.
That's his crew chief, Dilley's crew chief, Giulio Montanari, with Mix now slotting back into second. Still the battle for third and fourth between the 23 of Jeff Lapsevich. Lapsevich on the high side working alongside the 0-2.
Well, that's a great run for Lapsevich. We talked about him being a road race ace and how well he's doing these ovals. And there, he just took second place. Oh, Browning, the Auto Pro car, loses a motor down the front stretch.
Yeah, smoke out the exhaust pipe is never a good sign as the caution flag flies one more time. And it is for the Napa Auto Pro Chevy. We've talked about how good motors can be right before they go poof, and that might have been the case with the 10 car today.
Well, they run real well right before they break.
And it is pit stop time, and 3 of the top 4 race cars on the track come into pit lane. The 02 of Mix, the 4 of Thompson, and the 23 of Lapsevich.
Well, the 22 of Steckley and Whitlock's coming in as well. They're the 23 of Lapsevich, the Carhartt Chevrolet. He's getting a set of right side sneakers stuck on that Chevrolet.
Right side tires for the 22 of Scott Steckley as well, and Todd's down in Mix's pit.
Kerry Mix, the 02 car along pit road, another stop. It'll be 2 right side tires. They discussed a handling adjustment, but doesn't look like it's going to happen. Don Thompson Jr. continues his charge toward the front also. 2 right side tires. Now it's the race off pit road. Looks like Dave Whitlock's going to beat them both out.
And Thompson's going to edge the 02 of Kerry Mix. Important to note the 9 of Mark Dilley stayed out. So he's going to play out this race with the hand he has been dealt, and we'll see how that works out for him. Earlier in the weekend, though, Kawartha hosted the final CASCAR Sportsman Series race, and it was an exciting one with the 81 of Sean McGlynn dominating the latter stages of the race, and it was enough to win him and the McGlynn Motorsports Bunch their first sportsman title.
Well, his dad, Roger McGlynn's been in racing like for 40 years, and they really picked that program up later in the season.
And the final FloPro CASCAR West race was recently held on the Oval in Saskatoon. Jim White in the Mopar Charger won it. He also takes home his first CASCAR West Series championship, holding off defending champ Kevin Dowler.
Well, congratulations to the Mopar bunch there for sure. Anytime you can beat Kevin Dowler, you've really done your homework.
Sure can. Well, we still have to wrap up the Super Series Championship on this restart with Dilley once again in the lead. Championship hopeful J.R. Fitzpatrick sits comfortably in the 3rd position with just 75 laps remaining in this 250-lap affair.
Wow, Dilley got that thing right down in the dirt coming off of turn 2 there to get some traction as he's still working around the lap car of Kent Noon.
Well, you saw some of the speedy tries. The Wheel and Engineering Safety Crew had to clean up some of that oil left from Doug Brown's blown motor. That was the reason for the caution, but Kennington is strong on the outside, looking to get around the 9 of Dilley.
Well, that 17 Dodge of Kennington's been really strong in that middle to high groove all day long, and he's going to try and take advantage of it there. Oh, Whitlock and Thompson side by side off at turn 4.
Don Thompson Jr. trying to get up around the 39 of Dave Whitlock. Todd's down in the pit. Looks like Lapsevich is a penalty.
Tough break for the number 23 Tim Hortons Carhartt car with Jeff Lapsevich. An air hose violation during their pit stop forced to disturb the stop and go during the green.
Well, that's tough luck for Lapsevich for sure. Anytime you make a mental error on pit road and it costs you a track position like that is certainly disturbing.
Especially here today, and he will go a lap down to the leaders, but he will be towards the front of the field. He'll need a quick caution to try and get that lap back.
Inside. They're still there. Clear low. Inside. Clear behind the 4, all clear.
Well, the spotters doing their job as Don Thompson gets around the 39 of Dave Whitlock. Todd's down in the pit with Doug Brown.
Doug Brown behind the wall, done early in this one. Todd, it's a tough break for you, Doug. You've had a pretty good season.
Yeah, the season's gone fairly well for us, and today the car was just the way I wanted it. I was making time, passing cars, and just biding our time, and just felt a little vibration, and that's the end of the day for the Napa Chevy, but hopefully looking forward to a good 2007 new series and everything like that. I think everything's looking positive.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you.
Oh, for sure. You know, Dougie Brown and the Napa team, they've done really well. That's a father and son operation, not with a lot of funding, and they've run the whole series, and they've done a darn good job.
Put the 39 car in 4th spot on the racetrack as he gets around the 84 on J.R. Fitzpatrick. A battle now for 6, and we got trouble. The 09 of Kent Noon goes for a spin in corner number 1.
While Kent Noon gets into turn 1 and comes off the bumper of the 18, goes around backwards, but keeps it off the fence.
Yeah, those two battling hard deeper in the field, but we're under caution one more time with Dilley, your leader, Kennington holding 2nd. Mark Dilley in the Dodge Charger again set for restart number 3 as we begin lap 189 of 250 here at Kawartha.
Down into turn one more time. Mark Dilley's got the, little contact with Lapsevich there, the lap car.
We did see Lapsevich up towards the front of the field earlier on this afternoon, but that pit road violation did put him a lap down. He's trying hard to get that lap back.
Well, he's certainly fast enough to be there, Dave, but he needs to get in front of the leader and then have the caution come out to get back on the lead lap.
60 laps to go this time by, with Dilley leading the 17 of DJ Kennington and Don Thompson Jr. in the home hardware number 4.
Well, it certainly is go time. 60 laps to go here at Kawartha, and DJ Kennington's muscling around the outside, trying to get around that lap car of Lapsevich, but he's not willing to give up.
Well, that lap car has been a quick car, and Don Thompson Jr. thinks maybe I can just tuck in behind him and get a spot as Kennington slides up and out of the groove.
Well, we're starting to get the marbles build up in that outside groove. DJ gets in there, gives a little slide up the racetrack, and has to give up the spot to Thompson.
So Mark, the 4 car, up into second spot as he now chases your leader, Mark Dilley. On board with the 77 of Derek Lynch in 10th spot.
Well, Derek Lynch struggling to get around the Parkinson Tours car of Kenny 4th. Kenny just drives a partial schedule in the series as well.
He does well, though, with what he's got. And 4th will tuck it to the inside. Lynch going around the high side. There is, and looks to be your Rookie of the Year, the 3 of Jason Hathaway in the Snap-on Tools Dodge Charger, putting in yet another good, consistent run.
Well, Jason's doing a great job here. You know, last week at St. Eustache, some of the veterans were leaning on him, and he just turned around and gave it back to him. That white car was black with rubber, up and down both sides, but Jason does a good job.
And there was one guy who he raced hard with all day long in St. Eustache, the 1 of Peter Gibbons. Him and Hathaway had it out all the entire distance of the race, and now Gibbons is working on the 22 for 8 spot here at Kawartha.
Well, he's got that Chevrolet bound up down in the bottom, and Steckley, if he's smart, he'll keep him down there, and they'll work the lap car of 88 Dave Jacobs as a pick.
Well, Mix almost got together with that 88 car. He went from high to low, and the nose of that Lou's Barbecue Ford Taurus was there, and Mix had to gently get back on the throttle as the back end started to slide out.
Inside. You can let him go. I got a gap. Don't want to fight there. That's it. Okay, let's go get him.
That's good advice here. You know, with 60 laps to go here at Kawartha, Don Thompson Jr. has had a dominant car all day long. He's on fresh tires. Dilley did not stop. Dilley was smart to let him go.
And you see that little wave from Don Thompson Jr. back to Dilley as well, telling him, thank you. You know what? We're going to save our race cars. We'll battle this one out to the end.
Well, just a little respect between veterans, just a little wave. Thanks, bud, for not fighting me too hard on the way through.
Dilley smart, too. He knew he had that hole, so he tucks in behind the 4, and now they start to stretch a gap in front of the rest of the field. Here is the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick as we continue to keep an eye on him.
Well, not much fight there. J.R. Fitzpatrick just pulls down to the bottom and lets Mixie go by.
John Fitzpatrick watching very closely the progress of his 2 drivers. The number 4, Don Thompson Jr., out in front of the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick on the verge of a championship. John, a little nervous right now, but you're in pretty good shape.
No, I'm pretty confident that Donnie's going to win this and help us out. No problem.
That's a pretty proud father, I'll tell you. But you folks at home got to remember, John started this race team as a driver, brought on Donnie Thompson, and then this year, because it was stretching the team too thin to have 3 race cars on the go, stepped out to give all the resources he could to his son to win his first CASCAR championship.
More manpower on the 84 team. The Milwaukee Tools Monte Carlo has been solid all season long, and they're poised to win their first ever CASCAR Super Series championship. That team is, as long as J.R. Fitzpatrick continues to run where he is running. A good look now as the battle for 7th on the racetrack between the 1 of Peter Gibbons and the 19 of Brad Graham.
Oh, there we got a good fight here. That's for 4th position.
Trailing the 23 car, that's a lap down car of Jeff Lapsevich, and Mixie gets up underneath the 39. Here comes the 02 down the backstretch, looking to go down the inside, but Whitlock's going to slam the door in corner number 3.
Kerry's got that car turn in the middle really well, but as we said earlier, Whitlock's out in that outside groove, carrying the momentum down the straightaway.
Well, you see from that onboard, you look back past the 02 car of Kerry Mix. That's the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. He's holding back a little bit. He's watching this battle in front of him and knows, you know what, these 2 guys in front of me are pretty hungry. That could get nasty. I'm going to keep my nose out of it.
Well, between the spotter and the crew chief and J.R. himself, they'll watch everybody around them so they can stay out of trouble.
Well, there's a good look at Don Thompson, who has the lead here at Kawartha. He blew a motor in qualifying. The team pulled together and replaced that power plant. The crew gave him some great pit stops, and now the 5-time champion, number 4, is in the lead, fighting off the red Dodge of Dilley, while his crew chief, Sandy Hamilton, looks on. We'll be back from Kawartha. The Home Hardware Chevy and defending 5-time champ Don Thompson Jr. wades through lap traffic while being hunted by the number 9 of Dilley. We have had 8 different winners in 10 races in this year's chapter of the Super Series. Ken Thompson win number 2. He won in Trois-Rivières, while Dilley still looking for his first win of the season.
Hustling down the backstretch. We got some lap cars there in the bottom, but they're staying out of the way. Right down the bottom. Heads up move. The spotters are probably telling the guys out in the outside lane that they're there anyway.
Yeah, veteran drivers are the 71 of Brian Cathcart and the 11 of Ron Van Ness. They know what to do when they see those lead lap cars coming around the outside. They're still battling back there in the pack as Van Ness jumps to the outside, and a piece of debris on the backstretch, but it's out of the racing groove, so we'll stay green.
Absolutely. Just because you're a lap car doesn't mean your day's over and doesn't mean you stop racing.
But here's a battle for 4th, the 39 and the 02, Whitlock and Mix. And Mix looks like he might be the faster of the two through the corners, but Whitlock with good smoke down the straightaway.
Well, we said earlier, Kerry's car really turns the middle well, and he can get to the throttle quicker than Whitlock. But Whitlock's up half a groove, carrying better momentum.
Still the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick in behind that battle. There is the 23 of Jeff Lapsovitz, still trying to get his lap back as well, but that is the lead duo. The 4 of Don Thompson Jr., the 9 of Mark Dilley. And do you think that the 4 car used up his car too much to come up through the field?
Well, you know, he's starting to slide up through the middle of the corner. And you got to think Don Thompson Jr. wore those left sides out because he's got fresh right sides on the car. So now it all boils down to how much he saved on them left side rubber.
Lynch working around the outside of the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick for 8th spot. And Fitzpatrick will hold him off. But here's a battle for the lead. The 9 of Dilley to the inside of the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. Down the back chute they go, and Thompson's going to hang on to it.
See this through the middle. There's fresh tires right there. The 9 car is able to pick the throttle up in the middle of the corner about a car length and a half better than Don Thompson Jr.
Well, Dilley's been babying that thing since he made a pit stop early on in this race. They're side by side one more time. Thompson working the wheel as Dilley gets up underneath him. They don't touch. Lots of room, plenty of respect between these two drivers. They say, come off of corner number 4, down the front chute. Dilley's got the lead.
Down into turn 1, we'll see Dilley be able to take a car length right in the middle of the corner. Right there. Bang, on the throttle and gone.
19 laps to go.
Haha, Julio telling him there's only 19 laps to go. I think that was a little white lie.
There's still plenty of time to get it done, and Thompson knows that. He'll get back underneath the 9 this time by. Nudges the 9 car up out of the groove. And puts the 9 back into second. Don Thompson Jr. resumes the lead.
Wow, boy, Dilley should be a little hot under the collar, you know. He got by Don Thompson without putting a mark on that race car. Thompson dives back in there, roughs him up to take the lead back.
Oh, we saw that Thompson's car not sticking to the bottom as good as it was early on in this race. Look at him working that wheel. He's sawing on it coming out of the corner.
Oh, make no mistake, Don Thompson can wheel a race car, and he's definitely got his hands full right now. But that Mopar Dodge is stout off the corner.
Absolutely. Mark Dilley is very, very strong on the inside. Don Thompson Jr. will now try to hang on to the back of him as we've got a smoking car down the back straightaway. It is the 18 of Chad McGlynn. And McGlynn in behind the 93 of Joe Gonzalez, and we've got trouble.
It was 3 wide there for a bit, McGlynn and Joe Gonzalez. Dilley went in on the outside, lost the car a little bit. That put Thompson going to get in there, and we're under caution.
Caution flag flies once again, and McGlynn with the leaders bearing down on him, got up on the outside of the 93 of Joe Gonzalez. So we will go under caution. There is a pretty beat-up Ford Taurus of Chad McGlynn. And he'll pull it down pit lane. Joe Gonzalez with equally bad body damage on that bolt-on performance Chevy Monte Carlo. That's a tore-up piece.
Well, McGlynn already had the right front fender missing from earlier contact with Kent Noon.
Well, we'll take another look at the Mopar replay and see what happened. There is the 18 of McGlynn.
Well, I think it was just a case the leaders were coming and the lap cars were trying to get to the bottom out of the way, and McGlynn was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, he was starting that move on the 93. It's just bad timing. The 84 is in the pits, and Todd's down waiting for him.
Soon to be champion, J.R. Fitzpatrick making a stop during this late caution. There'll be 2 right side tires, maybe a drop of fuel. That'll help the handling more than anything else, but we'll be back with the conclusion of the Dodge Charger 250 in just a moment.
The battle for the lead has been relentless here at Kawartha. Mark Dilley leads the field to green for restart number 4 on lap 246 with Don Thompson right on his back bumper.
Up off a turn 4, Dilley in the power hard, gets a little bit loose, gives Thompson a chance to get down the inside, but Dilley closes the door. Oh, he drifts up in the middle, gives Thompson another look on the bottom.
Thompson underneath the 9, so Mark the number 4 up into the lead one more time, but here comes Dilley back on the inside.
The old crossover move, come into the corner late, pull it down to the bottom and get position off the corner. That allows DJ Kennington to come up and have a sniff.
And again, another crossover down to the inside, but this time Mark Dilley slams the door across the nose of the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. There's Kennington in that battle too. Don't count out that Castrol Dodge. He was super strong early in this race. He's got something left.
Oh, and Mixie does a power move across the bottom of Whitlock. That's for 4 spot.
Down to the inside, another driver we have to mention too, the 50 of Joey McComb up inside the top 15, and Whitlock goes around, slides up high into the marbles, and the NTN Bauer Gridley heads Dodge goes for a loop, and we're under caution once again.
Oh, Whitlock and Mixie, they just got in there really hot, touched wheels going in. Mixie was able to save it. Whitlock goes around.
A battle for 4th on the racetrack, and now Whitlock will be towards the rear of the field. We'll take another look at it in the Mopar replay.
Well, just like I called it, Mixie and Whitlock got in there too hot. Little round sideways, the cars touched rear wheels. Whitlock lost the fight.
Almost like they dared each other to dive deeper and deeper into that corner. And it looks like the 19 of Brad Graham might be out of fuel.
Well, that's Mike Knott, the crew chief. He's spraying the Aether to it, trying to get it to light.
Well, tough break for them. Mark Dilley leads here as we get set for a green-white checkered finish, but we're still under caution. Billy, we're looking at the end of an era, and there are some amazing stats in the CASCAR record books. Most championships, Thompson with 7. The most starts, Mix, 194 consecutive starts. We talked about it earlier. DJ Kennington, 138. How about Peter Gibbons with the most wins, 25 to his name, and the most poles for Don Thompson with 27. And the most top 5s there between Mix and Thompson. Those guys have had some pretty storied careers here in the CASCAR Super Series.
Wow, it's pretty phenomenal, Dave. You know, this has been a great series, and it's coming to a good end here. Green-white checker.
And the green flag falls. Mark Dilley in the number 9 leads the 4, and we've got trouble going into corner number 1 again. It's Mix, and it's Peter Gibbons, and everybody goes for a loop. There is your points leader, the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick. Stop trying to avoid the 02 of Kerry Mix.
Well, young J.R. just breezed through that one nicely, not getting too excited, didn't damage his race car. He's going to get away before the leader comes back around. He'll stay in the lead lap. Oh, that could have been disastrous.
Boy, Mix was getting going. The 1 of Peter Gibbons was as well, and you're right, that would have been disastrous. We'll take another look at it in the Mopar replay.
Peter Gibbons just in too hot and too low. He locked the brakes up trying not to hit Kerry. That was not intentional. Gibb had them things locked right up, but he got into the side of them.
Take a look at this replay. The reaction from the Dodge pit, looking for the win, and another caution as they're watching that spin unfold in corner number 1. So Mark Dilley had a good restart. We'll look for another good restart here as we'll take a break before bringing you back another green-white checker from Kawartha. Stay tuned. Sean Gibbs waves the white flag, setting up for a green-white checkered finish as the Dodge Charger Daytona RT pace car leads the field around Kawartha. And hats off to Craig Hill, too, driving that pace car. He's done a wonderful job all season long.
Well, Craig Hill's done it all 25 years here in CASCAR. He's also a member of the Motorsports Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's definitely something to hang your hat on. So we're looking for a green, white, checkered finish here at Kawartha, riding on board with what looks to be your champion. And you know what? That spin going into corner number 1 with Gibbons and Mix, that may have cost Mix second place in this points championship.
Well, Dave, I'm over here doing some quick math, and with Thompson running second here, I think this could give Fitzpatrick its first championship as well as its first 1-2 finish in the points.
Well, he's only got a couple laps to stay near the top of this field. That's the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. He's looking for the lead, though. Taking a peek underneath the 9 of Dilly. Dilly protects that inside line. How much did that 4 car get used up after starting dead last on the field? How much does Dilly have last? Steckley taking a look underneath the 17 of DJ Kennington for 3rd.
Take a look back there in 5th. Homeboy, Derek Lynch, the 77 car, running the top 5 here at his home track.
Mark Dilly continues to lead on the last lap through the last set of corners. Dilly and the 4 of Don Thompson Jr. Dilly's going to win for the first time this year. Thompson, Kennington, Stackley, and Lynch will round out the top 5. What a finish here at Kawartha, and what a finish for the CASCAR Super Series, and we've got sparks afterwards.
Kerry Mix dumps the 1 of Peter Gibbons.
Smiles all around in the 9 pit as Mark Dilly takes the win, and John and Janet Fitzpatrick celebrate their boys' championship. J.R. Fitzpatrick, the champion for 2006 in CASCAR. Mark Dilly has wheeled his Dodge into victory lane here at Kawartha. DJ grabbed the pole for the last CASCAR race ever. Thompson blew up but never gave up, and the final song was sung for CASCAR Super Series on this day. As the green flag flew, Kennington led early but soon came under fire from Steckley. Beauchamp blew his motor while pit stop shuffled the running order. Mix and Jeff Lapsevich battled for the lead while the 84 of J.R. Fitzpatrick steered clear of trouble. Dilly then went on a charge on his Dodge. The Napa Chevy of Brown called it a day and a season. The 4 of Thompson charged hard but couldn't hold back Dilly from the lead. A nervous mom and dad looked on. Dilly grabbed the win while sophomore sensation J.R. Fitzpatrick took the championship. Mark Dilly has won the Dodge Charger 250, and he is in the winner's circle. Standing by is our Todd Lewis.
Mark Dilly climbing out of the Dodge Charger, winner of the Dodge Charger 250 here at Kawartha Speedway. He waves the checkered flag in the air and accepts the congratulations of his team, winner of the final Super Series event of the season. Mark's going to sit down and relax a bit. It was a battle to finish those final few laps, but congratulations on the victory.
Yeah, it was wild. Donnie run me clean. I mean, I'd slide up and he'd get under. He'd slide up and I'd get under. It was amazing. It was pins and needles. I couldn't believe it when they kept throwing the cautions, but just can't say enough for this Dodge team. Unbelievable. What a thing to win the last CASCAR race, sponsored by Dodge Dealers of Ontario. At Mobile One, Exide, Leland Avenue, everybody's here. I mean, it's just an unbelievable day. The Mopar guys, my team, what can I say? The Italians strike again. They were awesome.
Mark Dilly is the winner here at Kawartha, and also, fellas, helps lock up the manufacturer's crown for Dodge.
Well, the Italians are his main men. That's Giulio and Reno Martineri.
And there is Dave Lewis from Dodge's marketing arm accepting the CASCAR Manufacturer's Cup for the 2nd year in a row.
Well, congratulations to Dodge and Mopar. You know, they've been the only car company that stayed with CASCAR year in and year out with support.
And we'll take a look at the Gridley Hets finishing order. Scott Steckley, a strong 4th place finish here today. Hats off to Jason Hathaway as well. Whitlock, Gibbons, and J.R. Fitzpatrick with Mix, the final car on the lead lap. Look at Joey McComb coming home 13th here today. And Brian Cathcart, Chad McGlynn, a little bit of trouble, and Kent Newt also trouble on this day. We'll go down to Todd now, who's standing by with Don Thompson Jr.
Don Thompson, wow, what a race today. Thought you were going to have this one. It was a real fight with Mark Dilly.
Yeah, you know, it was a fight. Unfortunately, at the end of the race, I ran out of brakes. I used up my stuff. coming from the back, it's pretty tough to do. But my hat's off to the whole Fitzpatrick team, especially J.R. Fitzpatrick, Ted McAllister, all them guys. What a job they did this year, and very proud of them. Home Hardware Chevy will be back again next year.
Don Thompson Jr. on the podium here at Kawartha Speedway. The championship baton has been passed, fellas.
And it has been passed to his teammate, J.R. Fitzpatrick, your official champion, as we take a look at the Castro point standings. Look at how many drivers are beneath 100 points away from that leader. 6 drivers finishing all within 100 points. Hathaway coming home the top rookie in 11th spot. Van Ness with a not bad season in 14th. And John Fitzpatrick himself comes home inside the top 20. Todd's down with your champion, J.R. Fitzpatrick.
Have a look at the smile on that youngster's face, guys. Yes, he's waving the checkered flag in the air, standing on the roof of that Milwaukee Tool Chevrolet. And you can see his crew is getting ready. They have supported him all year long, and they do it again as he jumps off to celebrate the victory. And J.R. Fitzpatrick didn't win the race today. You did earlier this season. What a year, though, for you to win the championship.
Yeah, you know, Fitzpatrick Motorsports is doing real good last few seasons. There's a lot of championships for us, and it's first for the 84 team, and it's all for the crew. We had a great car at the beginning, and at the end it was real strong when we came in for tires, but we got mixed up with all the guys. But we're definitely going to take it. This is awesome for Milwaukee and the rest of the guys.
An exciting season, a real battle, though, in this race. As you mentioned, up towards the front at times, but then you seem to settle in, content with, yes, we'll get the finish we need to secure the championship.
Yeah, you know, that's the hardest thing to do, you know, let people go when you have such a fast car. But, I mean, you just got to do what you got to do. That's why Don's done it so many times, because he lets them kind of guys go. But that's something I learned, and I achieved it this year. So I'm real pumped up for my guys and our sponsor.
2006 CASCAR Super Series champion, J.R. Fitzpatrick.
And a proud mom, Janet, leading in to give your new champion a kiss. That's the 8th straight championship for Fitzpatrick Motorsports.
Well, that's Bill Steele from Mopar handing out the hardware.
And Don Thompson Jr. collects the second place trophy. Mark Dilley's 8th career win here today. Of course, DJ Kennington coming home a solid 3rd on this day. And J.R. Fitzpatrick celebrating with his crew chief, Ted Dancing Man McAllister. Let's take a look at Milwaukee Tools championship moment. The young 18-year-old from Cambridge, Ontario, stood tall in his sophomore season. He has powered his way up through the CASCAR ranks in 2006. He took the Castrol points lead after round number 3, and his crew, family, and teammates have stood by their man. He captured his first win at Barrie and never looked back. J.R. Fitzpatrick is the youngest CASCAR Series champion ever, and that's how he and his teammates roll in 2006.
Well, it certainly is a great achievement for the young man, 18 years of age. He's got just a tremendous career ahead of him.
Tony and Linda Novotny, the owners of CASCAR, have handed out the hardware for the final time on the CASCAR banner. It'll be the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series next year. Todd's down with Jason Hathaway, the Rookie of the Year.
Jason Hathaway, Rookie of the Year, with 3-month-old daughter Anna in tow. Congratulations, it's now official.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, we definitely deserved it for sure. Our team worked hard. I think we had probably 9 top 10s this year, so it's a big turnaround from what the Snap-on car has done before. So we'll take that and work a little harder in the winter and see if we can't get up top 5 next year a little more.
Great job. Well done.
Well, Dave, what can you say? Tony and Linda Novotny have been down a very long road, Canadian motorsports. It's the end of an era, and they've done a wonderful job.
This race has been brought to you by Castrol GTX, maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. By Driving.ca, accelerate your car buying. By Logos Auto Parts, home of the 1-year parts and labor warranty. And by Inside Track Motorsport News, now available across Canada at a Chapters or Indigo store near you.
What a great season. We had 9 different winners in 11 races.
Well, you said it, Billy. A fantastic season here in the CASCAR Super Series. Hats off to J.R. Fitzpatrick, the youngest champion ever. From all of us here at James Robinson Associates, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next year.